I've recently been watching mechanical keyboards take the internet by storm. All the reviews, sound tests, and just overwhelming number of components. Well, I decided to build one. So, this isn't a beginner's guide to mechanical keyboards. This is a guide from a beginner to what it's like to build a mechanical keyboard for the first time. We come to the present day, where people are spending thousands on a board of switches. Well, where did this resurgence of this dated technology come from? The oldest ancestor of keyboards are probably printing presses, but it wasn't until typewriters in the 1700s where users could input their words using keys. And this led to all of these typewriters, and also this death trap. The most influential typewriter was the typewriter by Scholes and Glidden, invented in 1867, which resembles the modern keyboard. The next big change was with the IBM Selectric typewriter, which used type balls instead of type bars, solving the issue with typewriter jams. This also allowed changing fonts in the same document, and it's how they probably discovered Comic Sans. When computers were becoming popular, companies experimented with many different types of keyboard technologies. Among these, buckling spring switches became popular with the IBM Model M keyboards, which were fucking loud. In the 1990s, more keyboards became membrane-based, opted for due to being cheaper to produce, lighter, and slimmer. Despite these benefits, some nerds found that they were mushy. Mechanical keyboards solved these problems, and with technology becoming more intertwined with our lives and the rise of remote working, thanks to a certain something, people are investing more money into their home setups. As a result, that means more keyboards. Okay, well, what makes a mechanical keyboard? Money and a lot of patience. The keyboard hobby works on group buys and Kickstarters, which means pledging your money to get your keyboard months later. This is a list of components required for the mechanical keyboard. The case is where your outer components go in. It's the bread for all your fillings. Main consideration is the size, spanning from full-sized down to 40%. There are also some custom layout of switches. The plate aligns the switches and can change the sound of the keyboard, the spread for your sandwich. Dense materials like brass create higher pitched noises, whereas lighter materials like polyethylene create lower pitched noises. The PCB is the nervous system, with this chip being the brain, the main filling of the sandwich. This is a printed circuit board that has connection points for the pins on your switch. You can get a hot swap or a solder PCB. Hot swap allows you to take out switches and replace them with others, whereas solder is permanent. Oh, and both the PCB and the plate need to match up with your case. The switches enable the completion of the circuits and provides the fuel for your keyboard, the crunch to the sandwich. Switches have three types: linear, tactile, and clicky. Linears are smooth, tactiles have a bump, and clickies are louder than a school bus of children spawned from. Some hobbyists decided to play God and took one switch and another switch and made them have a baby, known as Frankenstein switches. Some Frankenstein switches are now sold as a singular unit, such as the Holy Pandas. If your switches have north-facing LEDs, they also may interfere with your keycaps, so look out for that. Keycaps are the reason why keyboards are popular. They're the garnish for your sandwich, the special sauce. The main thing to know about keycaps are the profiles, the material, and the switches they are compatible with. Now, this is where you spend all your money on artisan keycaps you store online, so go wild. Alright, so it's time to build a keyboard. I had separate front runners. These were the Keychron Q1, Monoke Standard, and the QK75. I needed the ISO layout because I'm fucking British, and a lot of these companies either didn't have this or were out of stock. So because of that reason, I was pretty much set on buying the Monoke and replacing parts. But that fateful night, Keychron decided to announce their Q1 Pro, so I got that instead. I also bought a bunch of switches to test, and the one that won that was the Boba U4Ts. I can't really describe to you why I like them, they just feel nice, and they also sound like they taste nice. Now for keycaps, I bought the keycaps from a company called Osme. They just have a nice design. And finally, I bought some tools for lubing, so a switch opener, a brush, some actual lube, and also a stem holder. That was 4 months ago. It's only been 4 minutes since the last shot, I just changed my clothes, but the parts are here, and let's build a keyboard. So this is it. This is my keyboard. I'm really happy with it. It's freaking heavy, but yes, I'm glad that you guys came along with me, and I hope you enjoyed. There are some resources to building keyboards here, so maybe you can check it out to see what the craze is about. And I will see you next time.